Okay, welcome back to Chumming with the Spirits. I'm JD of OG.
Para-Chum.
And Para-Chum. We'd like to toast peach Crown Royal, tea and peach Crown Royal, and then...
Devil's cinnamon whiskey or something.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend this.
Yeah, the peach is really good.
I think I might like it better than the blackberry.
That's pretty hard.
I heard blackberry Sprite was amazing, but you drink everything without anything.
Yeah.
So you drink everything.
I drink everything. Cheers.
I've seen it. Cheers.
So on this episode, we're kind of talking about, we're going to glump a few things in there and kind of glump them together.
Like a
shadow
pot?
figures or shadows. Now, we have had personal experiences with almost all the types out there, except for
the dynamic.
non-dynamic.
I'm fixing. I'm trying to fix it. It's demonic. Para-Chum. It's demonic.
It's strategic.
It is
strategic.
But because one of the topics is the Hat Man.
Yep.
Technically, I think he would be considered a shadow figure, but since he has became his own entity with its own lore and backstory, I think gets more off into its own box, as one might say.
Yeah, because when you talk about shadow figures or shadow man or whatever we want to call them in general,
I'm good.
Usually
Things are addictive.
It's just the form, the outline of a human being or a bipedal organism.
And that's one of the things as we get into classifying them. When most people talk about shadow figures, it's usually some sort of shadow black mass, meaning it looks like somebody's standing there, like there's a form there, versus a shadow on the wall that moves or on the floor.
That's in the shape of a figure.
Yeah, it's a two-dimensional versus most people, when they say shadow figures, they're talking about a three-dimensional thing that shows up.
Like a thick blanket of black smoke.
Or something. And that's, that as we discussed, the entity in your apartment, Para-Chum, it cast a shadow. Well, it could have been the flat shadow itself, but it was flat. It didn't have mass to it.
And it formed around the items that. So I have a frame. Right. It's a flag, a state flag, and it formed around the ripples of the flag and the shape, and then I could see a little bit of a gap where it was puffed out a little bit, where there was no shadow behind it. So it was against a solid surface.
I wish I would have seen that. I mean, great story. We've talked about it.
I think Jeremy wishes he had it.
Yeah, Jesus.
Because I think
that was the most
questions up in his mind.
Well,
that would have been the most.
But it's good to talk about this.
Yeah, it would have been the best one.
We've talked about this a few times on, not only here, but
in general,
and everything else. So I think it's good that we can stay vanilla. And talk about the form. What we're talking about here, where we've seen a blob mass or a sculpted body person or actually a reflection on the wall of something going by.
Because you've had experiences with the black masses.
And as well as a shadow person, which we've talked about when we're as well.
And it's a three-dimensional, like it's a person just moving versus, that was a shadow that just went across the wall.
Yeah. My two experiences that was a body that I saw going into the room that we all saw.
Yeah.
You and Rick. And then
I didn't see anything.
The big chunk of blob going across the room.
So I have a theory that someone else may have already likely come up with. That is it possible that the reason we're seeing them as shadows or blobs or whatnot, or some people even say that they see the shape like a blobby shape, but it's in the shape of a person. They can tell it has arms, legs, but the outsides are all like...
Talking about like a fourth dimensional being?
No, but is it possible that we're experiencing a paranormal entity, but we can't perceive what it is or who it is because we don't have a connection to it? or them.
Or a reference to what it is.
Yes.
Kind of like the color purple didn't exist for a while.
Yes.
Because blue.
Thoughts?
Yeah. Green.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Dan? Or G?
Well, I mean,
I'd love to see one in a full spectrum.
you know, I'm just trying to figure out how to break that down for you, and I don't know if I can even do that. I feel like whether I don't know what I'm looking at or
You can't talk dumb like I did.
I don't think you have enough crayons.
I'm pretty good at talking stupid.
Not enough crayons for the story.
Yeah, I just I just
Where
think
are all the green ones going?
I think you see what your mind tells you what you're seeing. I mean, what you're trying to make sense of what you're looking at, whether you're getting the definition of that image or not. I don't think it's because you have to understand it to know what you're seeing.
That's interesting because I heard this lady talk at a Para-Chum once, and she was a PhD, I think like psychologist or something. And what she said made absolute sense to me, and I loved it. That so since the day that we have sight, right?
Yep.
So the second we get sight,
Okay.
our brain is building a reference catalog
Or whatever.
for
it is.
itself. So every individual on this earth has a varied version of a brain dictionary
Okay.
catalog.
So are you going down the rabbit hole that what I see over there as a chair, what I'm seeing is not exactly what you're seeing?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I always thought that as a child, by the way.
when you're dealing with paranormal occurrences,
Especially when you have people that are colorblind.
and you have a group of people in a building, right? And they each, over the course of the night, go into a single room. One man goes in there and says that he saw a woman in white in that room. Another person goes in, they see something, but it's a dog. Another person goes in and they see a little kid
So
in the corner.
I understand what you're getting
Their
at.
brain, based on their
Knowledge.
knowledge,
Yeah.
experience, brain mapping stuff, experiences something that they interpret it in a form that they can understand and recognize. Even though they all saw the same paranormal entity, since it doesn't have form, it's basically usually sometimes just shadow or smoke.
It's one of your brain coming up with what it's
But most
identifying
people
with.
brains,
Based on what it knows.
Well, yeah.
most people's brains put things towards a human form and tries to put a face on it.
Well, I think that's why it's important to have
Documentation.
documentation.
Yeah, but I absolutely agree with that. But as we all know, this is an unknown field. We don't know what we're studying, even how to study it, or if it exists. So getting physical video evidence is extremely hard, and in today's day and age, no one believes it. So I agree with you, but I think it has to have certain controls and parameters and done in a certain way that it can be documented and cataloged and taken seriously. Otherwise, it's just a bullshit experience.
Story.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. I think there's a lot. When I was a child, and maybe I was wise as a child, I don't know, but I would always question my dad. I'm like, okay, this is what I see. This is what she looks like to me. What does she look like to you? And he'd say, she was like hideous or normal or gorgeous, and I'm like, I'm looking at someone that's not attractive at all. And this is I'm like 7 years old because I was totally attracted to women right off the bat. I was a pervert kid at 5 years old. I used to love women, but I was beauty. I was so judgmental on beauty, and I shouldn't have been, but I was. That's how I was raised. My dad, maybe he was a woman's man. I think he was at one time, a ladies' man, if you will. But I was always judging. Like, okay, are you seeing what I'm seeing? How do you not see the flaws? Or so I always, wonder, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I see a blonde hair,
It comes down to
green
your
eye,
perspective.
slender check, and you're seeing a medium build, sandy brown hair girl, and and that was always
the perfect example of a movie.
There you go. And I always wondered that as a child.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, I ran into the same thing. I remember my dad saying certain women were really attractive, and I'm like, what? I'm in high school going,
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're looking at.
Yeah, but I mean, he's looking at 30-year-olds, and he's 40, and I'm 16, 17, looking at a 30-year-old going, no.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Yeah.
Now, at my age, going, okay, now I can see why he would.
I see and underline what you're saying. So you're saying women that are 34 years old should quit dressing like they're 20. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm just saying they should just be happy. Just be happy. Dress however they want.
What a great. You know what? I'm trying to catch him anything. And look how you turned that around.
Dressing like they're 24.
That was well done. I've got to give you thinking on fly here.
Trying.
You're not the bigger bullshitter than I thought you were. You're really good.
So JV.
Okay, well let's stop for a second. Okay. I want to finish this talk.
What talk?
Well, what we're talking about. So, I know I seen the film piece, a little piece of someone caught on camera about something going through the woods that for some reason they just can't share with anybody. And I've seen this video, and it was a kind of reflective, chameleon-like predator going through the woods, and it was forming, and then you were seeing through it, and it was blending in the environment, and it was walking by. And I think you've probably seen the same video footage. Yeah. What were you seeing?
What I was seeing in real life.
So you saw that in real life. So you thought
it wasn't just showing up on the camera. You saw that.
Type of thing.
I thought maybe you just happened to catch it. You weren't paying attention.
No, I wasn't paying attention. I'm just bullshitting.
Yeah.
I was filming back there, and my friend was over here, and I for some reason I didn't turn the camera with me, for some divine reason, and I was talking to him.
You hear that?
Yeah.
While my camera was going, and I heard a noise. It wasn't like movement. It was, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, movement's fine. You heard movement.
And I was like, I turned, and I saw it going through way before I saw it on the camera, because I saw an actual physical human form that looked like that walking through, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, there's someone back there. I was like yelling, like, there's someone back there.
Yeah.
And it continued and crossed the camera path.
And I know we've talked about this on one of our earlier podcasts we did back before we were back in Cell Block 3. So what you saw with your eyes is exactly what you saw on the camera.
Yeah, it looked like a mirror person.
Yeah.
I think
that's well said.
The T-2000 or whatever you call it for
Predator.
Terminator 2.
You've seen this as well, right?
No. Actually, I don't think you've shown me the
Silver
footage.
Surfer.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen this footage of it.
Is that right?
Yeah. He has not privileged me with that footage.
Really? As close as you two are?
Oh.
But
there's a reason why we sit on opposite ends of the table, man.
I thought you were just trying to make a Dave sandwich. Oh, an OG sandwich.
So they're out of personal respect, that individual wants to use it for
I don't care what the
documentary at some point.
I don't care about the reason. You don't have to tell me why. You have your reasons. And you should keep that to yourself. I think it's bullshit. But you should keep that to yourself. And how long ago was that, may I ask? Not to be rude, but I'm just kidding.
Close to 6 years ago.
Okay. So not that long ago.
No, 2019, I think it was.
You're just waiting on something to come up before you can do anything.
Yeah. Get approval.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So I just want, and the reason I asked this Para-Chum is because I just wonder what, like we're saying, what we don't always see is not what someone else will see, but what you saw was exactly what you recorded by accident.
That's a very good point. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. I
didn't go to school.
No, I would have to say,
because of Missouri,
that when someone does see something while they're filming it and catch it
Yeah.
and are explaining what they're seeing physically, not looking through the lens.
Yeah.
I think that is extremely credible. It's very rare that happens.
Yeah.
But if that does, like I've seen
Sorry,
videos.
I'm laughing because you're absolutely right. It is very hard to actually catch that where you're looking and you catch it on the camera at the same time.
But you're also describing
Yeah,
what
that you have
you're
enough
seeing.
time to describe as it's going on because that's like.
And then, with that, I don't think you knew at the time you were recording. Then you go back like, holy cow, there it is. That's exactly what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is rare, right?
Yeah, it's probably
Your perception.
I would say
Yeah,
it's
that's like that's
less than 5%.
That's grade A encounter.
So what would you call that then?
The Holy Grail. Well, what you said is because that's a full manifestation.
Of what? What? Let me ask you.
Energy?
May I ask what
No.
you think it was? Let's take all the filters
Aliens.
off. Let's just take off.
I
Leave it completely open. What does your mind tell you it was?
can't really
With all your experience,
go deep into that.
can you not put
because
it in a box?
It's basically the story behind what I think it is what he wants to make his documentary about is because it's something he experienced before we went, years before, that almost destroyed his life.
So the reason I'm bringing this up, at the gym this morning, I was working out. I seen a guy that I did some small groups with. Good guy, plays bass guitar, sweetheart of a guy, loves his alcohol. Told him about our podcast. We were talking about it, and he goes, I had that one time. Here we go again, right?
Yeah.
We always get that. I don't believe in this stuff. I'm a spiritual man.
Yeah.
I believe in God. I'm like, great. And he goes, that one time.
It was weird.
So he told me a story describing what you saw in his room several different times, waking up to it.
Like a mirror man.
Finally, he got the nerve. He goes, in God's name, in Jesus' name, I rebuke you. And he's never had that experience again. Again, I've asked him to come on. He is all about it. So we may have a guest and be able to fill that story.
I would say without
So I wanted to bring that up before you said what you thought it was.
Without going into too much detail and backstory, I would say that I would probably think that it is a elemental spirit guardian of some sort.
Fantastic.
Non-human.
Possibly Native American in origin.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
But what I saw, what little I saw, it looked like human form.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I saw what you saw.
Yeah, but that's not to say one of those can't be.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So that's.
So it could be an earth elemental.
Yeah.
Something like-
Force.
Or a guardian of the land
Yeah.
or something.
Okay.
And maybe it's just
Or
a creature's been
alien
around for a
technology.
Maybe it was an alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it was Bigfoot. Because they have
Well,
looking capabilities.
I think we're starting to see that, right?
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
I
I mean, that
would
cave-
have never thought that before.
That
by the way.
mine threw me off.
Yeah.
After new research, seeing a shadow on the walls, canyon wall, but not seeing anything in front of them.
Yep. Or the heat signature, but nothing there.
But you could also go into the realm that
I would have never. I thought no, they're just good at blending in. They're really
Yeah.
good at hiding. They're a chameleon. I would have never thought stealth capability. And I'm sorry to get off subject if that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to expand what you were saying.
and I'm expanding even more because who's to say that it couldn't have been a possibility of a time slip scenario?
Well, that's you 50 years from now.
Yeah. I mean,
Going, look at those
Well, you
idiots
were
over
doing
there.
50 years.
that's why you didn't hear any noise because there were no trees or anything there anymore. Or before.
Or if it was a cryptid,
Huh?
and one that we were just talking about,
Yeah.
you usually don't hear noise anyway if they don't want to be heard.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about
Yeah,
that?
no, they're generally, that's one, even moving through heavy brush, they very rarely. Well, but
So
I say that. So, yeah, we're talking, if we're talking cryptids and that, we're talking about a, 600 to 700 pound ape like creature moving through heavy wood forest, very silent, but is creepy in itself because they could come up on you without you even knowing it. But a lot of people don't understand. Most animals can go through the forest very quietly because that's how they have to survive.
Yeah.
A deer is really quiet and can't sneak up on you.
Well, that's why you don't listen when you deer hunt. You probably deer hunted in your life.
Yeah.
I deer hunted for a long time, and you don't listen. You look for movement.
And they blend in really well.
You're not going to see a whole body.
So
you're going to see movement in the trees, and that's how you pick up. There it is.
But you might catch a rustle once or twice, unless they're rutting. But you don't realize, like, because you walk through there and you're like,
Oh
yeah. That's why you go early in the morning.
Yeah.
So whenever you're scared away, I'll come back.
So would it be plausible to say that a good hunter would wear noise-canceling headphones to deafen one sense to heighten sound or to heighten visual?
Well, you don't hear movement. When I hunted, I didn't hear movement anyway.
When you actually,
but you still hear other noises and
you are.
sounds.
Yeah.
You wear
But
noise canceling.
you need that though, because sometimes you're in a tree and guess what's above the tree? A turkey. Scare the shit out of you when it wakes up, or you're going to hear a cougar or a bobcat, and it's not happy with you.
so these are AKTs. These are noise suppression hearing protectors. So they actually amplify the noise, and then if there's a loud, you can wear them for shooting and that. But
We needed that for Bray Road.
yeah,
With someone in the truck.
Talking about my butt.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about your.
Okay,
But-
that's a different story.
But honestly, you don't want noise cancellation. What you want is amplification, so you can pick up any sound.
Yeah, just like a parabolic microphone.
Yep.
So if you had to break down categories of shadow figures,
We should.
what categories would you create?
I would have to, two-dimensional shadow.
That's good for you.
A three-dimensional mass shadow figure. Those are two separate boxes. Then you have a third box of just black mass, where it's not human form,
Just a blob.
just a blob. And even probably two boxes there, because I've seen blobs shadow, not a human, just a shadow.
Yeah, that are blobbed.
Blob, but it's a shadow. It's not the mass. So, and then your last one would be the Hat Man.
So does the term shadow? Sorry.
No, I'm interrupting you. You go ahead and finish. I just wanted to add another category.
Oh, you got another one.
Yeah, because this might lend into another category too. Is taking the term shadow, is that specifically termed because of the color black? So when people see blobby or mist-like human forms that are smoky colored,
Stay with me on this. Maybe, just maybe, it's because it looks like a shadow.
but what I'm saying is, but you're also seeing the
As you
black.
say that, I'm seeing your shadow reflect on my couch.
But you're also seeing the black three-dimensional masses that we're grouping into shadow figures. Why can't we do that with the white ones or the gray ones?
Because they don't look like shadows.
So,
You're trying.
You're trying.
so we're classifying things now based on colors.
We're boxing.
No.
We're using a box.
We're using a box that it's in this realm of something that looks like a shadow material, right? It's either looks like a shadow or it has that. Like
So
if
color matters.
So
Yeah, the
now
color
can
does
an
matter on
entity
this.
be in multiple boxes at once?
Yeah, I think there's an easy,
Because you could group the black mass, the smoky masses, the physical 3D ones.
That may
in a
also
grouping
be-
with the others.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of times black masses show up with poltergeists. So is that a shadow or is that a black mass? Is that a poltergeist?
Yeah. 'Cause
So yes, they can hop boxes when you're, because everything's on a spectrum. Just just where we're at in that spectrum.
yeah.
If I may jump in on that, are you okay with that?
Are you sure?
I'm good. I
Are
don't
you
know.
hiccuping or are you just saying yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know that guy. Some of the research I've done, and I've heard a few experts in the paranormal field say that shadow men, shadow people,
The demons.
are evil. Are evil
Imagine that.
entities. What's your...
Because we're color black.
Well,
no, I'm not saying you would say that.
No,
that's what that came off wrong. I'm sorry.
Is it that simple because it's a dark bead?
I think that's why they're thinking that.
I think these are guys that are mediums are saying this.
I think it's to the point of that'd be very, very hard to put them all into that realm.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the one that ran down Para-Chum's hallway didn't. I was more.
I feel weird. I felt weird,
but I was more shocked than scared or felt something. Yeah.
It wasn't like we were running out screaming, like firing shots behind us into the doorway.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, since you've seen that, if you don't mind me asking, you have a hard time traveling down that pathway?
No.
That's the only way to get to his bedroom.
No, and have you ever had that feeling at all since then?
I get feelings every once in a while, like when I go use the restroom in the middle of
the
night
same
or
feeling.
something, because all the lights are off out there and everything.
You don't have
like, oh shit, who's watching me right now? You know, but nothing that's like I'm like having to take a flashlight or my phone with me, and then
But you're checking your shower curtain.
No, I keep it closed now. It doesn't bother me until tonight. Thank you.
2 more of these and you'll fear nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just every once in a while you just feel like something's watching me, like this creeper.
Well, so let me get back to my original question. I based really off of everything that what little I know, and this is very little of this,
ouch! No, I was
on this subject of the Slender Man.
I know almost everything, but I know everything.
But not on this. But not on this. They're always tall, thin, and black, right? So, are they considered shadow people?
No, because
are you talking about the Men in Black?
No, he's talking about the Slenderman.
No, because that's a physical cryptid. It wears like a black pin. I think it's a pinstripe suit, like Jack Skellington, with a tie.
I don't do that to Jack.
Well, I'm just saying that's how it's.
He's in my furniture.
It might be a pure black one. I don't know.
Okay. I just wondered because, like I said, I have very little knowledge on this.
Yeah.
I really think it's a made up.
I think it is.
Thing.
It was a Reddit post.
What's the there's a name for that type of creature? Tulpa.
Where you
will it
you
into
believe it enough, you will it into
Yeah.
existence. Is that what we did with cryptid? So I'll stay away from that.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah. So let's go back to what
Jersey
you were talking
Devil.
about Para-Chum. Oh, unless you, JD, you got something to say?
What we know about Para-Chum? Is that what you said?
I said, yeah. No, I said, let's get back to what you were saying.
I was like, what do you know?
Oh, we know. I've heard. Yeah. I don't have the evidence.
Like I said, there's. Well, was that trying to put the other box in there? Was Slenderman?
Slenderman, yeah. I just.
Well, and I'll be honest, I think that's in the same box as like the Hat Man. It's a known entity that deserves its own category type thing. It could be part of it. Once you,
Yeah, I just didn't know if you put it in the same box or not.
I'd separate that one. That's a shiny.
That makes sense.
That's a shiny one.
But from our experiences, what we've seen, and then there is a lot of video evidence on TV. Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventurers, Most Haunted, they all have video footage of some black mass or shadow.
This is an alcoholic.
So let me.
He looked at me like, "What are you doing?"
So let me ask you a question, both of you.
Let me.
Well, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I looked at him to make sure he wasn't
Is that
talking.
all it takes?
Yeah, he wasn't talking anymore. So
Did you just look at him and shuts up? Let's see if it works. Shit. I wish I would have done that 10 years ago. It didn't work with you. Oh, you're doing it to me. My bad.
We talked before several times about laser grids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the ones they use on TV, obviously, because they're so far apart. Like, if one of them goes out, it's like 3 feet from another dot, and you're like, eh.
Yeah, I get that. That's hard.
Could have been a dust particle or something.
Not an orb, but a dust particle.
If you were to have a laser grid set up where they were only like, you had like 1 million dots, right?
Yeah,
down on a wall or down a hallway.
Absolutely.
On like centimeters apart, and you saw a figure show up that appears to be a shadow now because it's black against a series of green dots or red dots, whatever the hell you're using. How does that get classified?
Is it black?
The image that you're seeing technically is, but it's only because of the light source from the surrounding lasers.
Well, I think it's a black entity, right?
Yeah. I don't know because it's got.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is. It is. But I think you can put it in two different boxes. Really, can you not?
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
And I would lean more towards. You can't necessarily classify it as a shadow figure because you can't say that it's darker than the dark object behind it because you don't have that reference point anymore.
The only thing you have is that tool allowing you to see it.
Would have to classify it as
a dark entity.
A shiny.
A shiny?
Like it's unclassifiable, but it's paranormal.
I've never heard that term. A shiny.
He just mentioned it.
That's what you would call it.
Yeah, shiny.
That's a shiny.
Well, I know you just mentioned it, but a shiny is
not just a nickel.
Going through rocks or nickels and like, oh, that's a shiny one. I'm keeping it.
There's a type of Pokemon called shinies.
Yeah.
They're foil. They're literally shiny. But that's before that was shiny rock or.
a certain investigator.
I got what you meant. I used to do that as a kid.
certain investigator that you picked up / Hollywood actor for a paranormal Para-Chum in Kansas City had a show. John Tenney, who I got to spend some time with investigating at the Stanley Hotel.
Name drop.
I didn't pick John Tenney.
No, but his partner in the show.
Oh.
They actually had a dark entity going from one stairway to the other in that show. Probably one of the most compelling pieces I've ever seen. So, what would you classify that as?
I think
A
that
shiny?
was Nah, that was to me was the video. I
You know
saw.
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think it's a black mass. I think it goes underneath shadow people.
But that was a body. That was a figure of a.
Yeah.
Because you also get into the realm of that show that I love, Expedition.
Unknown?
No.
X.
The one with the guy and the girl, but Josh runs it. One of their episodes this past season was they were in like a hospital or something. I can't remember
You're not doing a good job
what it
explaining
was,
this.
but
Yeah. You know that one thing on
he set these. There was a hallway that was known to have a black shadow, and they set a really cool laser grid that I've never seen before. But it's one point that shoots down the hallway in a line on the floor, but it also projects like a wall, kind of like a force field from Star Wars type laser wall. And they caught something walk out of one of the doorways into the laser. Yeah. They called it a shadow person, but it looked like one of the cast members just had stepped out of the room. Like you could see everything.
No, I remember that. It was, and they didn't show that till the end of the show.
Yeah, it was like the credits. And I was like, that's amazing if that's real. Like, why was that not in the fucking episode?
He's doing the...
or maybe it was just a crew member.
Well, we didn't do this, but we got this, and we got this. Just kind of like an overview of everything that happened. So my question is, are they classifying that now as a shadow person because it showed up in the laser beam? I would call that an unknown since you right off the bat.
Are they loosely categorizing it?
Yeah, I think they're loosely. I wouldn't put it in with shadow. I would put it as a unknown entity.
Okay.
Because again, does it look like a shadow? Does it have a black mass and all that? But you're saying it was a mass. You could see it wasn't black. It was
it looked
like clothes. So it was an entity. That was like a class A.
It was a human being.
So to me, that'd be a dark entity.
I mean, it was a human being.
Yeah. Well, they were just trying to. I don't know. I won't say they were trying to lean you toward one way or whatever, but
it was a human being. Well, have you seen it?
He boxed it, and we can watch it right now. We can pull it right up.
Well, no, we'll wait until after the podcast because it's copyright issues and stuff.
No, I didn't mean put it on there.
Where are we at on time?
220. Not total.
Oh, where are we at for right now?
I don't know.
Great tech guy. Great tech guy.
We started around 140. 141, something like that.
So basically, we're talking
So,
about
shadow people.
and categorizing.
Oh, categorizations, categorical, associational
References.
to them. I was trying to think of a good word, but it just wasn't working.
You're brainy.
Yeah.
My brainy ain't working.
You're brainy.
Let me bring up another scenario for you that I want to get your opinion on.
Okay, before you do, can we reference the shirt? That is just like the coolest shirt ever. It was actually designed by the shirt itself, designed by Para-Chum himself. He drew that, not using crayons or anything. He stitched it out, collaborated on some colors.
I use markers.
We had a famous saying in one of our podcasts. JD did the lettering around the shirt.
Yep.
And we're getting ready to do a Para-Chum here in Kansas City.
Yep.
We're at?
It's the Missouri Para-Chum.
For 2025.
For 2025.
And
it's at Ameristar Casino.
Right.
In North Kansas City.
And I can tell you, we've all been to a couple of Para-Chums.
Yeah, they're usually
this is the coolest shirt, and we're going to probably be offering these out. Not only that, but hats as well.
The only Para-Chum that I've ever been to that was well put together, coordinated well, not a shit show. There was traffic. There was a lot going on. Was Jason's at the
that was good because I got to meet our friend Stephanie and talk to her about how she beat me out on that house.
But most Para-Chums you go to are like 10 people show up, and it's just a bunch of people.
This one's like going to be good people. So if you get a chance, and we're going to be there, we're going to be interviewing people probably.
We'll be doing the podcast live. We'll try to get as many interviews as we can. So generally, most people come to those type of conventions have a story to tell.
And selling these shirts for a really reasonable price. Yep. These are going to be the most badass shirts. I've never seen any shirts as nice as this at a Para-Chum. I think they're designed beautifully. Yep. I think we're going to enhance it a little bit on the lettering.
Make it a little more standout.
And we're going to also offer it a special thing on the arm if people want it as well for whatever our cost is. And no extra cost, just what it costs us to do it. So
if you're in the town in late February, I think it's literally the last weekend of February. 28th or something like that.
I just want to plug that in real quick.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to wear this and because of JD.
Yeah, and if you haven't gotten tickets yet,
love my shirt.
They're
comfortable.
Get them because I'm pretty sure they may only have like a certain amount that they're allowed in.
Yeah, there's only some. It's since it's at the Ameristar, there's a limited number that could actually go in. Yep.
So go check it out. Missouri's. I don't know if it's Missouri State Para-Chum or Missouri Para-Chum.
I think it's Missouri Para-Chum.
Okay.
There's going to be some good guests there.
Yeah, there's...
Not counting us.
It's loaded with people.
We won't do a panel, though. We're above that. Our panel's going to be in the vendor's booth.
Next to the vending machines?
Next to the vending machines. We'll take
Next
donations.
to the restroom on the way out.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that kind of thing,
I don't know how to spell
alcohol, see some amazing people.
I realize we don't have...
peruse local and probably not local vendors in the paranormal field. Go check it out. Get yourself a ticket.
Yeah, hope to see you there. Tell us what if you.
Yeah. So.
Well, I was going to say, whoever goes to the Para-Con, come up. Tell us if you watch this. Tell us what episode or what your funny moments you enjoyed or what.
And we'll give you a discount on the shirt when you buy one.
Yeah.
Or hat.
Yeah, if you mention the show and what was said that made you laugh or what you really went, oh wow, that was pretty neat.
Well, that sucked.
I'll throw one even farther up there on that. The first person that watches this, first of all, comes to the Para-Con and comes to talk to us and says the word transponder to Dave, I will give you a free copy of both of my books.
Whoa. And you know what? The books almost look legit, so not because I haven't read them yet. So
Yeah, they look like bro books. Till you open
There's no crayons.
I was like, what?
I don't know the colors. So you're going to finish this off with JD?
I guess we can finish those off for sure.
Yeah, you got pretty much finish those crackers off. You didn't even use a quarter of your ball.
I did earlier. It was my birthday. It was my birthday.
So we're categorizing
we've gone
shadow figures, right?
Balls deep.
Balls deep.
How would you categorize this if you were to categorize it? So, say...
Bullshit unless you filmed it.
Thank you. True. That's
very true.
Sorry, couldn't resist that one.
No, but it's the god awful truth.
You are
Okay.
you're in a haunted place. Like say McIntyre
I think it was like a dead relationship.
Yeah.
So Dave's in the McIntyre Villa, right?
Yeah.
He's in the basement in one of the rooms.
By myself again?
Yeah.
Which was, by the way, bullshit.
Yeah.
Just go with me.
No, I did go.
Just
Bullshit.
stay with me.
No. Dave, stay here. We're going to go upstairs. Like,
Okay. Hey, would you go check this out?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's in there by himself in the dark,
No worries.
and he hears a noise right on the far end of the room.
It's Larry Jack.
He turns around, turns his flashlight on. He doesn't see anything before he turns his flashlight on. Now all of a sudden, in the flashlight beam, he sees a shadow on the wall of something, but doesn't see anything. But he didn't see the shadow before he turned the flashlight on.
Because it's dark. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You don't see an outline.
I set myself up for that one. I admit that.
But you turn it on.
Now,
It casts a shadow, but there's nothing there to cast the shadow. Is what
Because
you're
I
trying to
cannot
say.
see what's in front of
Yes.
me, but I can see the shadow that is reflecting off the light I put on it.
shadow figure or no?
I say shadow figure.
No.
Because it's casting a shadow?
That's right.
So then you're going to exclude anything that looks like a shadow on the wall. It's probably casting a shadow, so it's no longer a shadow
Correct.
creature.
Right.
So if it can cast a shadow,
I think
even though you can't see it.
Yep.
Even though I can't see it, but it's emitting.
So you just took two whole boxes come out.
Just check it out the window.
Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
That's what I told her. No, because
Personal experience.
my eyes are not seeing what's able to cast off that shadow. My light is.
But if you just saw the shadow,
Yeah. Okay, so if we see something go across the
yeah, you see a shadow.
ravine of something running.
About to see something. I'm sorry if I stopped muted.
It's already making his eyes water over there.
I said sorry.
Who defecates in someone's house?
I didn't
You're a
mean to.
guest.
I moved.
You don't
and it
do
came
that.
out.
You don't do that. You know, there's 2 bathrooms down here. One there, one up. There's 2 upstairs. There's a door out to the window.
I didn't know it was gonna happen.
You push that. Dude, shut up. So no, I can't see you. You're invisible to my eyes. But I happen to hit a flashlight your way. And because I'm not seeing it doesn't mean you're there.
So
I'm able to cast a shadow.
We are back to what we kind of talked about. A shadow creature has mass. Now, if it's a shadow on a wall, it's not a shadow creature.
To me, that's an invisible creature that I can't see with my eyes. But because my light source hits it, it
That's
casts
what
a
we saw.
shadow.
There was a physical
Something
there.
physically was blocking the light.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. It could have been a gray.
Yeah.
5'8",
Fuck. Really? Really, dude?
Or a teenager squatch.
right height, head, took off super fast, but we couldn't see it. Only cast a shadow.
I hate you.
Well, that's when you go probing. I mean, what do you call it? Skywatching.
I didn't even think about that as we're talking about until
That makes perfect sense.
yeah, because it looked like something leaned out of the bathroom to look at us, and we didn't see anything other than the
And
shadow.
it was pretty lanky. I have to admit.
And then when I turned and looked, it went.
So people, you're seeing something, a new revelation right here, because he does do this. He does go out. He does night watch. He is into probing. This thing was coming by to get his nightly probing, and it's all jaded. He's like, that bitch is cheating
Yeah,
on
so-
me.
And took off. It was
He
like,
took it pissed off. Yeah.
Not the probing, but yeah, I mean that. I
the
can't
probing.
dismiss that.
No, you can't.
So I'm gonna eat the last cracker.
I want proof that you haven't been
Oh,
probed.
that's gonna suck.
Oh, that's going to be fantastic.
but no, I think that's a good class because that's how I felt about
I love it.
what at his apartment was. It didn't look like a shadow creature. It looked like a shadow, like something cast it and then took off, but we just couldn't see.
And
Okay. So,
Which we now have seen Bigfoot.
well, can we expand on this? Can we expand when Para-Chum comes here, we have lights flickering even though they've been replaced? Can we expand that we've seen something float across my rec room while we were doing our podcast live, and then you got up and you had the exact same feeling in a different area?
Yeah, I mean,
Because we thought I went into.
Do you have a chip on you? You think you've been implanted with a chip?
Cause mass hallucinations.
I'm not talking tortillas.
how would I know?
I don't know.
Yeah, because he doesn't remember the time loss either.
Yeah,
Or the probing.
I definitely don't remember the program because I would kill someone.
2 more and you'll find out.
Yeah.
You'll remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who's to say it's not something from childhood, like that house in Ellenwood that I was telling that you saw?
Yeah.
I
was afraid to be upstairs, in the upstairs by myself. Like something was not right. Like
I just love your infatuation with UAPs, if you will. I hate that word. I like UFO better. I love your infatuation. You are infatuated. You are connected with it somehow. And then I sent you what Liz and I saw.
Not the day they
threw
saw
me
it.
off edge. I went out and saw it. I saw it.
I know, but you didn't tell anybody else about it.
No,
Not
no,
that
I just
day.
told you guys.
Yeah, well, like
After
a week
fact.
later. Week later.
You still holding a grudge.
But then again,
You are a bitch.
then again, somebody didn't believe their wife as they were saying, "Hey, you need."
Well, I did go out there, and
Eventually.
it just looked. I'm like, that just doesn't seem right. So after you looked at that little 14-second video, your conclusion?
you can't tell.
It's following you
so
over,
pixelated that it's
Well, and that's something else. Is I've had other buddies talk about that,
yeah.
and that they couldn't get everything was always pixelated, no matter what. Even though they could see it clear, they couldn't zoom in. They couldn't do anything with the camera.
Which is what happened to her.
Yeah, no, I couldn't make heads or tails of it. There was something there. Like I did the
Yeah, you
inversions and showed you that there's a physical object there.
Yeah,
but
I
can't tell what the fuck.
I tried to show the video to a military friend of mine at work.
The
and,
green one?
The green one. The one you
Yeah.
try to dock her up. I go, what do you think of it? He goes, I would have took my droid up there. I go, I don't know if your drone would have found it. I said droid. Drone up there could have reached it. He goes, oh, mine would go up 900 feet. I think that was higher than 900 feet.
Yeah.
It was big.
So all I did was just do the negative. I inverted the color scheme, and then I just upped the contrast so I could see.
But you couldn't see
if
the
there
shape?
were edges or something.
You think
no.
you can see the shape?
No, it was just like 4 or 5 blocks.
Yeah.
Like it was unrecognizable.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I can't make
Yeah.
heads or tails of it. But what I was saying about the
My
Evil
grandpa
monkey.
used-
the shadow figure in my apartment, how it felt weird and it felt like someone was watching you.
Yeah.
That's how it felt in that house in the upstairs.
Like there's something there you just
Like
couldn't
there's
see.
something there that I can't see, and it's
Like your penis?
constantly watching me. And as a kid, that feeling's not cool.
Yeah.
Like now, I could just be like, "Fuck you." Like, I don't really do that because I do get scared still.
He just pulls the covers over.
I'm just kidding.
But who's to say that that something may have been with me since birth?
Yeah.
Or at least from the house.
You know how they say guardian angels? Maybe it's my dynamic angel. No,
He said dynamic.
Oh shit!
He said dynamic.
Demonic.
I thought you did that on purpose.
No.
That's my dead dynamic.
I thought you were coming out.
That's what I thought. I thought, oh my god, that was just beautiful.
It was. The timing was perfect.
No,
and then he's like, oh no. I said that. And by the way, I've been saying demonic the last 7 times. I said it correctly.
I know, but
Damn it. But
I went to K-State. I like that.
yeah. So it's not necessarily a guardian angel, but it's a guardian
could be,
that is not necessarily
or
good.
could be called a
You
curse.
don't know if it's evil. How do you know if it's evil, my man?
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it
But
hasn't
a
harmed
guardian
you.
angel, I don't think would send off that feeling like
I don't think the
Creepy.
feeling was not.
No, it wasn't. It just felt like somebody was there.
uneasy, creepy.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it felt like there was
that's
something
okay.
there that You can't see.
When I saw that object in the sky, and I'm not a guy like you, I don't go out and look at the sky all damn night. Even though I do think it's pretty cool to do that, especially in the woods. Golly, there's so much.
No, you gotta go where you can see.
Oh, it's just amazing. It's
Not
amazing.
the woods with trees.
No. Where we camped at, we were out there. We had 2,300 acres where we had our camping site. There's nothing. The block you just. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I understand why you do it.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be the way.
So, but what I'm saying is.
Just
What I saw, it made me feel uneasy, but I wasn't like terrified.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you weren't getting your guns out and shooting it and stuff, and like
like they're doing in Jersey right now.
Or freaking
Did
out.
you see that video? The guy went full auto on that thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's that TikTok.
We'll get back to
So
it.
I just wanted to close it out with that.
And close it out.
You're gay.
No, that
It's okay.
it may not be what we saw. May not be necessarily a shadow figure.
No,
or
I think
or an alien. It could have
denial.
been. Yeah, denial.
It could have been a guardian.
It could have been something that's been with me for longer than
Why
I
not?
know.
Oh, an attachment.
No, we don't have attachments.
Yeah, I mean, you.
That's not the Jedi way.
Attachment. Yeah,
That's not the Jedi way. No attachments.
that's where I was getting.
No,
at.
yeah, it absolutely. Also, could have been
Very
in a
close.
box.
Very
It could have been
close.
an urn. It could have been on a doll
In a box.
in a box.
And I know I've said this before. I was told that I'm pretty sure I died on my 1-year birthday or
I
something.
think
like
you
that.
told us about that.
And then I don't think it was for very long, and then they brought me back. I had like a fever or something, and it was so high that they had to bring me back or something. I can't remember that, but
Now look at you now.
Are you trying to fit all that in the box?
No. What I'm saying is that haven't you had that happen?
Yeah.
Haven't you had that happen?
Well, I did drown, but I don't think I ever died.
How would you know? You're just a kid.
I was a kid. Which is kind of weird, guys. In particular, we're all the same.
But we
pop of the
experience
family.
stuff more than normal.
Yeah, you're supposed to be more open to things.
My
if
sister,
you
she sees
cross
stuff
over.
all the time, but she's crazy.
But that happened to her too, right?
Coyote will do
Did that happen to
that.
her?
No.
No.
No, she's the one that drowned me. So,
She's the one that did it.
yeah. But
Yeah, I actually had a little girl save me. She pulled me out. I don't know, was your sister or not?
I
Probably
think I
not.
actually.
Probably not. Yeah.
I do remember now when I was older. I was maybe 4 or 5, and we were in Pennsylvania. I reached in to get a ball in the pool and fell in, and I think my dad had to resuscitate me.
Or are you kidding me? We all have the same damn experience.
So
This-
he had to
you-
give me mouth to mouth and stuff, and from what I remember, to bring me back. So that's 2.
Okay, let me ask you this. Serious question. Were you guys ever molested?
No,
Fuck.
not that I know of.
I mean, by God. I mean, by another guy.
So yeah, I mean, could that be one of the reasons that we
could be.
are attracted to this kind of stuff?
Possibly.
Man, there's a lot of parallels with us, I think.
Or is it just
Not
the
as much
pattern
as-
that makes things?
Yeah, not as much as JD and Juan. That's
Yeah.
freaky.
I mean, yeah, that was almost identical on on a lot of it. So which I hope we get to talk more with him. We are. We'll do an investigation with him, but I'd love to just get him back on.
He
just to
called me
talk.
yesterday. I just knew he was fishing to come over.
Anytime he can come back.
He ain't coming over. This is my house, motherfucker. This is my wife. He goes, I like your wife. I like your house. Fuck you. Stay away from my kids. Stay away from my wife.
No, I mean that
And
was.
stay away from my JD.
Yeah.
You can have Para-Chum
No. Only for an hour.
Yeah, he doesn't want
for the right
that.
price.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, I mean with him on it, goes to St. Louis.
Yeah.
It just flowed, and I think there's so much more. Like I said, we could
Still one of our best podcasts.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down. We should.
We definitely need to do investigations with them. I think.
Well, we
that's,
need to get up and investigate.
Yeah.
We need to do something else. I'm already itching to do something.
that's just a rash.
So yeah, I know this is kind of a more
We
hodgepodge than it meant to be episode.
Shadow figures. Shadows figures is what
boxing categories from our friend one.
So thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions about what we should talk about
soon,
next time,
Because we need something, guys. Help us out.
yeah.
yeah. Anybody could use a helping hand. We definitely could use two.
Yeah.
But thank you. Be safe. Have a good night.
Cheers.